Welcome to ModernHackers scale modeling channel. You can find on YouTube if you subscribe, additionally on Facebook, Instagram, and the web page. Welcome folks for the 4th episode of building this Alpha model W204 Mercedes AMG C63 model. If you remember, on the previous video I showed you how to remove the unwanted 2-component clear coat and paint. You can go into the details why we had to remove, and in this episode I continued from the removal. I added back Mr. Ruby Mr. Color 1000 surfacer, equally covered the surface. Previously the paint removal went well, everything removed except the primer, and on the top of the base healthy primer. I filled the surface, a little bit sanded as before every real paint. Before painting I added 1500 more smooth primer, Mr. Ruby Mr. Color primer. So the previous one, the 1000 was, and this is 1500. It's more smooth. This making sure you will have a good base surface and ready for paint. The color is Automotive paint that you can get and mix at any car paint shop. The color code is Orange Flame Metallic 379. I thinned with the appropriate metallic base thinner for be ready for airbrushing. You can find in the airbrush tools in the video description. Roughly I applied 3 coats of this Orange Flame Metallic with this large airbrush with 0.5 nozzle, and after this large airbrush I went with a smaller airbrush just for painting the edges, hinges, the hidden parts to have covered equally. Then I will come back again with a smooth and thin layer of force coat with equal. Here you go, the result. Smooth surface, a little bit sanding, very little sanding was needed, not too much, and I could go to the next stage of masking for the left, right and front black coating before the carbon decals. So I painted with Mr. Ruby Mr. Color black. gloss black for better decal adhesing. In this video I had to reproduce the carbon decals because on the previous video I already used it. So you can see how I'm doing. I'm printing into adhesive material, and then I will cut out the contour lines from a carbon decal sheet. Before using the decals, I used Decal-Set from MEG product. This is the phase 1 component. So instead of water, I rather use this setter. For removing the decal from the decal sheet, I use water, but for adhesive fix, I use this material instead of water. And after you put the decal to the surface, use some brush to flatten out, and after that I use the decal softener to mount and really get the surface size. And we are ready for clear coating. For clear coat I use 2 component clear coat, which means you have 1 component base varnish and you have half component hardener, and this giving you a mixture which is a difficult material, so you need to use the appropriate safety gloves, safety masks. The first, second and third coats are thin. The third one can be a bit heavier, and the fourth and fifth one are really wet layers, and in between the layers I'm monitoring the condition of the varnish. If I can see some orange peel, I start increasing the thinner ratio of the varnish, but if you don't see any orange peel, you can go with the original mixture. Between the layers I gave roughly 10 minutes cure time at room temperature. Go a little bit with the interiors while the clear coat is curing. I use some flocking. For flocking adhesive I used Italy acrylic paint with similar base color like the flocking itself. It will stick to the surface well without any glue. Just apply to this special tool and flocking a little bit. For several interiors I had to add some silver edges, silver coloring, chrome edges, several round shapes, air intake points. The speedometer edges. Also, some interiors were previously clear coated with 2-component clear coat. Is giving extra glossy finish. The racing seats I already painted with mixed red and already added some decals, and for the backside I painted with Tamiya semi-gloss black, which is acrylic based, so it's not conflicting with the base Mr. Ruby Mr. Color lacquer paint. For realistic look and feel of this racing seat, both inside and outside, I covered with flat Mr. Ruby Mr. Color varnish, which removes the glossy finish and removes the imperfections, for example of the hand paint. You can see it's fully removing. For the decals, I use Decal-Set and Decal Softener for proper fit for the shape. I used epoxy resin glue for the small parts. I added extra seatbelts to the kit from Scale Productions Racing Seatbelt Kit. One kit contains only one seatbelt, so I used two kits. Removed the photo edge details, cleaned, started assemble. This racing kit properly fitting into the Alpha model Mercedes C63 racing seatbelts, AMG seatbelts. It was a good selection for tune-up. You need to build up each of the seatbelt connections on your own. In case the connector not going through on the holes, you can use some heater and cut down from the material and heat the edges. For the seatbelts, the decals are not sticking, similar to like a paint or a plastic. You need to add extra glue in between, so I used epoxy resin glue to stick better this decal to this seatbelt textile material. I attached the seatbelt with, again, epoxy resin glue to the racing seat to get the shape, rounds and curves. you need to make sure you have enough length for the top seat belts, so until I'm not cutting, until the seat not getting to the final place. Install the cage, the racing rolling cage, to the bottom shell. Connected the seat belts ends to the bottom of the cage, like a closure point, and remove and cut the unnecessary piece of the seat belt end. I hope, folks, you enjoyed this 4th episode. We get to the point with having this interior ready. Thank you. You can find on YouTube if you subscribe, additionally on Facebook, Instagram, and the webpage.